The Mountain West continues here on CBS Sports Network, here at the Thomas & Mack Center in Las Vegas. Alongside Darren Collison, I'm Chris Lewis. It's two of the hottest teams in the Mountain West, both winners of 5 of their past 6. San Diego State, UNLV, next to each other in the standings. Just saw New Mexico winners on the road at Nevada. They remain atop the conference. Here in the final week of regular season play before the conference tournament begins right here in Las Vegas. Corner 3, UNLV, Bedford way short. Two strong defensive teams going at it. Loose ball, McKinney dives, scoops, needs an outlet, and finds the Vegas native, Barrow Compton. Boyd, rejected at the summit, but they'll call it a goaltend. Pop Njai, who comes in off Kevin Kruger's bench, the freshman from the Ivory Coast.
Boyd, you know he likes going to that left, but he likes to use his body to create space for that layup. And as he's going into Hill, he's able to get a nice layup off the top of the glass.
Jaden Henley, just saw him walking off, the reigning Mountain West Player of the Week. Ryan Dutcher, you can just write it down, 21 wins and a spot in the Mountain West Championship game. Each of his first 7 seasons, a win today, and that would be 21 for an 8th consecutive year. In all 8 seasons. Hicks fires front rim. Bedford tips the rebound, but it's gobbled up by the guard, B.J. Davis, for the Aztecs. Wayne McKinney III gets them all from deep.
You see San Diego State's tempo is amazing right now from the start of this game, and Miles Bird just did a great job of looking cross-court for McKinney, but it's just their willingness to push the basketball on miss and makes is what's getting them easy buckets in transition.
7 straight for San Diego State. Njai puts an end to that. UNLV, 5 of the last 6 have gone in the win column, fueled by the defense. During that stretch, opponents scoring just 58 points per game. Of course, the standard for defense in the Mountain West over the years has been San Diego State. Another stellar defensive season, and Miles Bird rings the bell from downtown.
Yeah, right there, McKinney was able to drive the gaps. They helped off a little bit off Miles Bird, and Miles Bird was the recipient of that, hitting that 3. As Taj is coming down off the steal.
Vegas guy returning home. DeGorville sets up this 3 in the corner. McKinney can't get it to go. And a loose ball foul on Barrow Compton. Also has Vegas ties. Kevin Kruger was a part of UNLV senior night back in 2007 as a player, now coaching here on UNLV senior nights. Actually got a technical foul in the last game against Nevada. His first career technical foul was a win for UNLV. 68-55 against the rivals.
I'm not surprised. Kevin Kruger is one of the most passionate coaches in this conference, and he was a terrific point guard. I had a chance to play against him. He was a very smart and heady point guard, but I'm not surprised that he got that technical because he is fiery.
There were 3 technicals in a 40-second span in San Diego State's last game against Wyoming. An Aztec close win. Richway, count it, and has something to say.
Rich Wayne's a little bit fired up right now, huh?
He was honored before the game on senior night. He's a 6-year senior, playing in his 4th school. This is the first time he'd ever gone through the senior night festivities. Bird flicks the wrist. Around and out, and a box out for Bedford. San Diego State holding a 5-point lead. In the second meeting between these teams, it was UNLV that went to Viejas Arena back on January 18th and got their first win in San Diego since 2020. Henley, bullseye! Just a rising fire 3 for a 37% 3-point shooter.
Yeah, but it's just his size, his ability to get that shot off of anybody that's guarding him. Not too many times you see point guards or guys that can play the point guard position at about, what, 6'6", position and can just rise over the top and shoot that three-pointer.
He's coming off of back-to-back games, Henley, where he set a career high in scoring, 22 against San Jose State. Followed it up with 23 in the win against Nevada. Here's Davis, tiptoes inside, too strong with the lefts. The whistle is Henley vacuumed.
Right here, Rich Wayne. You know the saying, man down, hand down, up shot with Rich Wayne.
For those of you watching our free streaming coverage, it will conclude after the commercial break. We will continue on CBS Sports Network. You can find us by going to cbssportsnetwork.com/channel finder. You're watching March to March, presented by Principal. Here at the Thomas & Mack Center, San Diego State just a 2-point lead over UNLV. Alongside former UCLA standout Darren Collison, I'm Chris Lewis. So the first meeting went the way of UNLV on the road, a chance at revenge for San Diego State.
And you can see that with San Diego State's tempo, right? They're pushing the ball. They're trying to get easy buckets in transition. Obviously, we know they're going to play defense, but UNLV has made this a game because they made some nice plays to get themselves back into the game.
For tonight's game, let's get into the keys, brought to you by Carvana.
Well, what I got, Chris, is San Diego State has to win the rebounding battle. They didn't do that in their first meeting. And I keep saying it, Boyd and Bird are their two most valuable players. When they play well, San Diego State wins games most of the time. And UNLV, they got to play high-level team defense. San Diego State has a lot of different players that can carve you up to 10 to 15 points, so they need to be collective as a unit, and they need a big performance from Bearcherry. I think if they give him the ball, they force-feed him the ball, he's going to create a lot of foul opportunities for the Rebels, and it can create a lot of opportunities as he's getting a double team to kick out for open threes for UNLV.
Those are the rundown of the players who are on the floor. Absences for each of these teams, a story as well. We'll get into that in a second. B.J. Davis at the free throw line.
So right now you're seeing San Diego State pick up full court. I mean, this is what makes them great. They're going to pick up full court. Sometimes they're going to trap the pick and roll, but they're going to do a lot of different things defensively to keep the offense off balance. And this is one of the things that they're doing at the start of this game.
Foul on the interior. Some housekeeping. A goaltend was reversed, so they took a basket off the board on the side of San Diego State. But the Aztecs early on in this game getting it going from three.
Well, San Diego State, to me, we're never going to talk about their defense, but when they're shooting the ball along with their defense, they're probably one of the toughest teams to play against in any college basketball, but it's their ability to find each other while they're getting easy opportunities at the rim for three-point shots. As you see, Rich Wayne gets a nice drive, but if they can drive the basketball and create two to the basketball and kick out to Bird, McKinney, Boyd, they'll be in good shape because their defense can get the job done.
Rich Wayne, a strong start. So again, the goaltend that was called against Pop Njai was reversed during the last stoppage, which is why San Diego State has 2 fewer points than when we stepped aside. UNLV reaches with Henley to get the steal. Running the floor, Rich Wayne. Deposits back, Henley crosses over, navigates inside, draws the contact and the whistle from the near side.
It's a nice drive by Rich Wayne. He's known for his three-point shooting, but he can put the ball on the floor every now and then, in particular going to his right. He was talking a little trash right there, Chris.
Big whistle there as well, as Rich Wayne is feeling it early on in this game, not just with the shot, but with the jaw as well. But Jared Coleman-Jones called for his second foul. During the month of March, CBS Sports celebrates women's history, honoring the role of women, inspiring generations to move forward together. Jaden Henley, Mountain West Player of the Week. 50% shooting in the 2 games. 22 against San Jose State, 23 against Nevada.
Yes, it's very deserving. Such a great kid. What I love about him is that he knows D-Don is out, so he takes the responsibility of playmaking, and he's done such a terrific job. And not just playmaking, he's scoring the basketball too at a high clip. You mentioned averaging over 20 points, which is really good.
Kevin Kruger mentioned it, point guard by committee, and said it would be a challenge against that pressure defense from San Diego State. Boyd is hacked. Henley came from behind. I think they're going to get Hicks instead. It is his first. So Dedan Thomas looking on in the absence of the all-conference caliber league guard, the co-freshman of the year last year in the Mountain West, missing his 4th straight game with a right shoulder injury he suffered against Fresno State.
Just a few gray hairs for Kevin Kruger when he's not playing, right? I mean, he's such a terrific point guard. If you haven't got a chance to watch him play, I mean, it's just unfortunate that he's probably not going to be able to play this game, but it's his ability to make it easier for a lot of his teammates. He's such a great kid. He puts a lot on his shoulders, even as a sophomore. But he had a terrific game in their first meeting.
Now, Kevin Kruger has mentioned that he does hope to get Dedan Thomas Jr. back. They are taking it day by day. On the flip side, it's the fun part about basketball, right? A 6'1" guard is a huge absence, just as a 7-footer, Magoon Guath, who's the Mountain West shot-blocking leader. He's missing this game with that hyperextended knee he suffered back on the 22nd of February in the game against Utah State. This is the 3rd straight game he's missed. He will be reevaluated tomorrow. And the staff for San Diego State hoping that they can get back the difference-making 7-footer who was really putting it together over the 3 weeks prior to the injury. Davis. Leaner no, and the rebound secured by Henley.
Give Running Rebels a lot of credit on that possession right there. They defend without fouling. I mean, they just made it tough on B.J. Davis and Nick Boyd on the drive, and Henley just loses the ball right there. But you got to give UNLV a lot of credit for playing defense the way they've been playing.
We'll see what Magoon Guath has done defensively. We mentioned that Kevin Kruger had a technical foul for the first time in his career in the last game against Nevada. He just picked up a technical here. So it's back-to-back games with a technical foul.
Is he okay? We got to check on Kevin Kruger after this game.
Usually pretty mild-mannered on the UNLV sideline. But off that turnover, he thought Henley was fouled. Referee said he just lost it out of bounds.
I'm all for it. I mean, when you have a coach as passionate and he's that fiery, it gets everybody going, in particular the players on the court. I mean, that's okay when your coach is that fire. It's a lot of great things.
19-19. 2 defensive-focused teams in the final week of the regular season in the Mountain West. San Diego State can finish as high as 3rd. Whip pass on the baseline. Bird turns it down. Davis from the top, off the back of the rim, and Rishwain secures. Eight and change to go in the opening half. Creation, separation, everything but the 3 from Bedford, who really struggled from the floor. In the win against Nevada was just 2 for 15. Nick Boyd's led the team in scoring in 5 of the last 6 games. Drop off, and Compton, in front of family and friends here in Las Vegas, drops the hammer.
Give Nick Boyd a lot of credit on that play. He was able to drive, but he's such a great driver to his left. I mean, everybody in the building thought he was going up for a layup, but he was able to pass it at the last minute for Farrell Compton for a nice dunk.
UNLV approaching 3 minutes without a field goal. Hicks tries to end it. Battle for the board. Njai was the last to touch as it goes out of bounds. Competitive in the early going. 4 ties, 4 lead changes. Boyd with a drop-off, and Compton, who played his high school ball here in Vegas, sends a loud message on March to March, presented by Principal. CBS Sports Network's coverage of college hoops continues tomorrow with a doubleheader. It starts 7 Eastern. That's a big one with Xavier taking on Butler. Then catch an 8-10 matchup. Loyola Chicago, Davidson. That's at 9 Eastern. Mention that big one, Xavier Butler. Jerry Palm had Xavier today amongst his last 4 in. Xavier on a winning streak. And they have vaulted themselves into the NCAA tournament picture. Meanwhile, San Diego State, Jerry Palm had the Aztecs and Coach Dutcher as a 10 seed at the start of the day. Of course, the Aztecs perennially in contention in the Mountain West. They win this game, it would be their 21st win. It'd be 21 wins in every season for Brian Dutcher, now in his 8th year. They've been to the Mountain West Championship game, and every year he's been the coach, they've won it 3 times. 3-pointer for Nick Boyd out of the stoppage, too strong. It belongs to UNLV.
Coach Dutcher tried to catch them off guard right there with Nick Boyd coming off the flare, and they just went under. Good pass by Heidi. Great shot, just didn't knock it down.
UNLV shooting just 32% in the early going, but 4 of their 6 field goals so far have been threes. Jalen Hill from Las Vegas, transfer from Oklahoma, spent 4 years there, now 2 at UNLV. Shot clock at 4, and Hicks loses it. DeGorville scoops, Bird lobs, Compton runs, throws it too strong. Box fast break for San Diego State. Aztecs wanted a double dribble, and they get it. 2 hands on the ball, put it back on the deck. So San Diego State, we brought it up with Jerry Palm having them as a 10 seed in his latest bracket, 4-5 in quad 1. You go to their wins, they had a great non-conference. Wins against Creighton, Houston, who that win continues to look better and better. And you see San Diego, by the way, stellar win that they had early in the season is they continue to put together a fabulous season.
Yeah, they're having a terrific season, Chris. The pass.
Excellent feed. Miles Bird sets up Miles Heidi.
I think Miles Bird's playmaking ability has improved greatly throughout the season as Bedford hits the 3. You know, Miles Bird is known for his scoring ability, but you don't really talk about his playmaking ability, and he's done such a great job in improving in that area, as you can see right there with a dumped out pass to Heidi. But he's done a terrific job of looking for his teammates and not just for his own.
A player whose scoring does not affect the rest of his game. He brings it both defensively and playmaking, no matter if the shot's going in. From the corner, no, and a loose ball foul on the other side. They get Pharaoh Compton.
Right here, coming off the curl and just being patient. Sees Heidi at the last minute. And then Bedford, he can get hot, Chris. I mean, if you leave him open a few more times, he can get going and he can explode for 20 points off the bench. And he had a terrific game in their last meeting. And, you know, in transition, he's really good in transition. And if you leave him open too long any longer, he'll light you up.
Jalen Bedford did suffer that ankle injury towards the end of the Nevada game, but has it in a brace, ready to go for this game. Another UNLV turnover and giving it away 5 times.
So you see a couple unforced turnovers by UNLV. Why is that? You know, they don't have a traditional point guard. They have other players trying to bring the ball up and trying to initiate the offense. And San Diego State's taking advantage of that by being physical with them in the full court, as Nick Boyd gets a nice pump fake and a nice left-handed layup off the glass. Imagine
San Diego State is the wrong team to face when you're going point guard by committee, trying to figure it out in the absence of DJ Thomas. Both teams come in winners of 5 of their last 6. The swarming DeGorville traps it in the corner and forces the 6th turnover for Coach Kruger's team.
You just can't relax against this team. You know, right here, Bedford tries to drive, but doesn't see DeGorville coming behind him with a nice little dig. But this is what San Diego State does really well. They help each other at a high level.
Crowd got to look at that replay. Thought it went off of the Goreville in San Diego State. Foul on Bedford is his second. UNLV without Thomas even more shallow. In the games that Thomas has missed, Coach Kruger has typically gone just 7 deep.
Which is going to favor San Diego State, right? I mean, if they keep pushing the tempo as much as they're doing in the beginning of the game, it should wear UNLV down. And that's what they want to do, is just have their bench play against their bench. And that's what the Rebel Rebels does not want.
Rishway drops it. Hill retreats. Henley left open, flicks and hits. First a double figures. Jaden Henley has 11.
Great job by Bedford. Driving to the gap. Bird tries to help off Henley. And Henley shoots a 3, and that's his second 3 off a pass like that.
Tied at 25, under 4 to play in the first half. McKinney hounded. Hill guilty of the foul. That's his first. 3 is the theme for UNLV. They've already hit 6 here in the first half. That's their average. Catch this UNLV squad back in action on the road. They take on Mountain West rival New Mexico. That'll be a great one Friday, 10 Eastern, right here on CBS Sports Network. On the side of San Diego State, Miles Bird, the distributor.
Yes, you're going to see a lot of these clips. He has a lot of attention on him with 2 to the basketball, but he's making the right read. One way to become a terrific scorer is you still have to become a terrific playmaker to alleviate pressure when you have 2 to the ball. And Bird has done such a great job of doing that and not forcing shots and creating better shot selections for himself because he's passing the ball at a high level.
And you've seen a lot of San Diego State and Miles Bird across the season. And is that something that you've seen, the growth in his game week to week?
For sure. I mean, as the best player, he's learning how to, play make as the best player. You're going to get double team. You're going to get double team in the pick and roll. Transition, you're going to get a lot of attention, but he's done a great job of looking for his teammates when they do double him.
Coach Dutcher said he's taking better shots, delivers late in the shot clock. Bear Cherry sends it down for a shot clock violation. Jeremiah Bear Cherry, a block and a half per game. That is 3rd best in the Mountain West. These are 2 of the top 3 teams in the conference when it comes to block shots.
I'm really impressed with Bear Cherry's activity defensively to get out and hard hedge on the guards on the side pick and roll. Right there, he was able to switch on Nick Boyd. When you have bigs that can be versatile defensively, it helps your defense tremendously.
We knew this would be a rock fight. Nothing given, everything earned with 2 of the best defensive teams in the Mountain West. Henley off back iron, and here's San Diego State. The game that's had 4 lead changes, 5 ties. Bird picked up by Rishwade. Taj to Goreville, who played high school ball at Durango High School. This is an offensive foul called on Miles Heide. Second foul on the fill-in starter at center. Coming up, AT&T at the half. Brent Stover, Ice Young, Darren's former teammate Roy Hibbert, Gary Parrish will break down this game, get you caught up on all the other action around the country. Coming up on AT&T at the half. Earlier on CBS Sports Network, New Mexico 4-point winners on the road against Nevada. So they remain at the top of the league. Final week of the regular season in the Mountain West. The Thomas and Mack Center hosts the conference tournament. Rishway got it! Incredible step back, and he's letting them know on every made 3.
Oh, man, he's a joy to watch right now. I mean, it's just his ability to drive the way he's driving, but step back and shoots a 3. I mean, when you have all 3 areas of the game going, Chris, whether it's a 3-point, mid-range, or getting to the cup, you're going to be very hard to stop. And as a defender, you don't even know what he's going to do, right? I mean, the way he's driving and him stopping and popping and stepping back like that, I mean, it's very tough to guard.
He thought about that one. Shot clock down to 10. Rishwain, who was the last one at shoot-around, getting shots up, envisioning this type of performance. That time it was wide right, late shot clock. But the last possession, he cashed it in.
Right here, just a nice behind-the-back step back.
Who's he talking to, DC?
I have no idea, but somebody got him going. They need to stop talking to him.
Florida, San Francisco, Boston College, his prior stops, and now final year at UNLV. Collision on the jumper. Coach Dutcher wanted a foul. Davis hit the deck. Second chance, San Diego State. Down a point, late first half. Great ball movement across the perimeter. Bird wide right. Great tip by Davis. Boyd got it to go. And that was all set up from the hustle. Taj DeGorville.
B.J. Davis was right there and just tips the basketball to Boyd, but B.J. just does all the little things for San Diego State to win games. You know, he doesn't do a lot to show up on the stat sheet, but his defense intensity, his ability to impact the game in ways that doesn't show up on the stat sheet comes up huge every night for San Diego State, and that's why he's a starter for the Aztecs.
Henley gets into the mid-range. Competitive half. Tied at 30. Great shot making, both teams hovering around 40%. That one goes, count the baskets. B.J. Davis, who DC you just mentioned, does it all.
Yeah, right here it's taking Henley off the dribble and just a nice floater off the glass. And you're so focused on Bird and Boyd. You know, Guat, if he was playing, and you forget about B.J. Davis, he can score, you know, every now and then within the offense, and you forget about the ability that he can do offensively. He can put the ball on the floor. He's a good shooter. Defensively, he gets after it. So he's another player that helps his team out tremendously.
Off the missed free throw. Quick transition. Bird erases. DeGorville also in the area. Taj DeGorville sets up a wide open Davis for three. Top of the backboard and out of bounds. The Aztecs on the other side with a great defensive possession to force this miss.
Just outstanding defense by San Diego State. I mean, can't write a better script than San Diego State's defense right there.
San Diego State, UNLV. Well played first half at the Thomas and Mack Center. Spot where both of these teams will be in a little over a week when the conference tournament begins. Coach Dutcher will look to get back to the Mountain West Championship game. This building, he's had a lot of success. In fact, against UNLV, Thomas and Mack Center, 14-2 since 2014. There's a foul 94 feet away. Will walk the floor as San Diego State over the limit. General send Rishwain to the free throw line. Boyd, his first foul. Strong start for Rishwain. 3 threes in the first half. Now 65 triples on the season. That's top 5 in the Mountain West. Ian Caldwell, Amy Bonner discussing that last personal. John Floyd, the other official, he's closest to us. Kevin Kruger looking for an explanation.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what's going on too as well. I mean, was it a foul before the ball came in play, or?
Might also be looking that last substitution. Getting it cleared up. And now Rishwain ready to take the free throws. A lot of stoppages similar to this in San Diego State's last game against Wyoming. And a 3 technical foul in a 40-second span, 2 of them on San Diego State's. Rishwain front end. (32-31). San Diego State. This could tie it. 27 seconds before halftime. Aztecs likely to hold for 1. Competitive half in the 84th meeting between these teams.
See what Kevin Kruger has up his sleeves, knowing that Nick Boyd is probably going to take this last shot off the pick and roll if he forces him right or if they switch.
Boyd turns the corner against Senjai. The muscle and the hustle. He'll head to the free throw line for a chance at a 3-point play.
Right here, Nick Boyd just puts his head down, going to his left, creates contact for an and 1 play. But I feel like in that situation, knowing Nick Boyd loves to go to his left, you probably got to force him to his right off the pick and roll to make it a little bit more difficult for him, because he's one of the best guards getting to his left, and when he goes left downhill, he's very tough to stop.
Has the strength to fight through the contact from the 7-footer in Njai with his first foul. 2-point lead. They get their own board. Boyd, the scoop off. Hill rebounds with 1 second. Gets it off. And that'll do it. 34-32 is the score at halftime. San Diego State with the lead over UNLV. Henley and Rishwain leading the way for UNLV with 13. Nick Boyd pacing San Diego State with 10. 2-point game at the half. After the break, it's Brent Stover and the crew in New York. This is March to March, presented by Principal. You're watching March to March, presented by Principal. Almost set for the second half at the Thomas and Mack Center. It's a 2-point game. Alongside Darren Collison, I'm Chris Lewis. This was a shot maker's half, 11 combined threes in this first half. What stood out to you?
Well, UNLV's ability to take care of the basketball. Only 6 turnovers against this great San Diego State team, but Rishwain and Henley scored 26 out of UNLV's 32 points. Absolutely amazing first half.
Yeah, let's get into some of the shot makers that were a part of the first 20 minutes of this one.
Well, it's been their 3-point shooting right here, but San Diego State does a great job of going into the gap defense, and you see B.J. Davis helping over. So when Rishwain drives, Henley's going to be the recipient of that drive when B.J. Davis goes over, and right there he's able to shoot a 3-point shot, a wide-open 3-point shot because of the help defense. And right here again, Miles Bird gets caught playing gap defense, protecting the drive as he should, but Bedford does a great job of kicking out to Henley for an easy 3-point shot. If UNLV wants to continue to play better basketball offensively, they got to share the basketball, and they're doing just that, and that's why they're shooting 7 for 15 from 3, because they're getting a lot of easy looks.
Yeah, the recipe for beating an elite defense, which really both of these teams have been over the last 3 weeks, it is creating the open looks from 3 and taking advantage of them. Second half underway. San Diego State, UNLV, each winners of 5 of their past 6 coming in. 2 teams playing great ball, especially on the defensive end. Jared Coleman-Jones. He's defended by the smaller Jalen Hill. Fun matchup. Strength on strength. Hill deflects it away. Davis tells Coleman-Jones to get out. Hiding inside, sets the screen and rolls. Instead, Miles Bird with 2 to shoot. Carves inside, whips a pass to Heidi. How did he do it? Great vision by Bird.
Terrific vision by Bird, and just driving, creating offense for his teammates and not just looking for his own. This is why he's a special player, because he's able to do a lot of different things for the Aztecs.
A win for UNLV secures the number 6 position in the Mountain West. Come the conference tournament here next week. Jaden Henley continues a sizzling shooting for UNLV. Their 8th made 3 in 16 attempts.
Yeah, he's shooting that basketball with confidence. One thing to take note of is UNLV is only down by 1 point and Bear Cherry has 0 points. So just imagine when they start getting him going offensively.
A carrying violation called on Boyd.
Right here by Bird, just drives to the basket, gets Bear Cherry to help, and gets a nice little dump down to Heidi.
It's all set up by the great playmaking by Bird. You highlighted that, DC, early on in this game. He's a player who's taking better shots, not forcing it, empowering his teammates. And Coach Dutcher just raves about the growth of his redshirt sophomore. Big collision on the dribble drive and a foul before that last tip. Big bump as Jalen Hill hits the floor, and he'll head to the line.
I think Hill can do more of this, knowing that he has Heidi on him, a big that's guarding him. So he can take Heidi off the dribble every once in a while. But if you notice Kevin Kruger's offense, it's more of a free-flowing offense where everybody's touching the basketball and they're getting the ball from to the one side to the other. You know, when you don't have your point guard and he's making plays, this is the type of offense you need for everybody to be involved, everybody to touch the basketball, and it makes it harder for defense to guard because now you got to guard everybody and everybody's a threat.
For just joining us, DJ Thomas missing his 4th straight game with a right shoulder injury. UNLV in that stretch have found a different identity, as you mentioned, Darren. The defense has been strong in that stretch without their point guard, but also the ball has been moving without it being in the hands of a great lead guard who creates a lot of looks for others, but he holds on to the ball a lot. It's a different look with UNLV over these last couple of weeks.
For sure, you got to do it by committee, and defense is one way that you do it by committee, helping each other out. As Henley gets in the passing lane right there. But this is why I want to see Bear Cherry go to work right here.
Coleman Jones reaches in, and he's the guilty party. That is his 3rd. So Miles Heidi with 3, Coleman Jones with 3.
He just rips the basketball from Heidi. Uses length to get inside the passing lane. But your defense has to be phenomenal when you're missing one of your best players. As Rich Wayne gets a wide open look for 3.
Julian Rishwain, it is his night here on senior night. Honored before the game, and he has 16. 7 in a row for UNLV. Davis attacks Rishwain. Coleman Jones rises, swishes it home. 2nd made 3 in as many games, just his 15th long ball this season. Brooklyn Hicks bounces out of bounds. The official on the far side, Amy Bonner, ruled it UNLV ball. I think the officials will come together. They actually call a foul on Miles Bird, so not out of bounds instead of personal on the Aztec wing. His first. UNLV has made 12 field goals in this game. 9 of them have been threes. For a team that makes just 6 threes per night. Bird sends that away and has that look. Why'd you even try that?
Oh, ouch. I would have been out for 3 weeks if that happened. Bear Cherry gets a dunk. Wow. Hopefully that will get him going, Chris, because like I said, if he gets going, this is going to be a different UNLV team coming down the stretch in the 2nd half.
A thunderous first 2 points for Jeremiah Bear Cherry. 2-point UNLV lead, and there's a foul is drawn as Nick Boyd hits the deck hard.
It's a nice job by Bear Cherry just to read the switch defense. When teams are switching and you're slipping towards the basket, you're going to get a lot of open dunks and layups, as Bear Cherry did right there on the dunk from the slip. But just a good read by Bear Cherry.
Front rim and off for a 78% free throw shooter.
And again, Rich Wayne has it going. a lot of teams, I mean, everybody's focused on Rich Wayne, him coming off the screen, and he's going to sometimes get two to the basketball because he hasn't gone behind the three, and nobody wants to let him get an open shot, and that's why Bear Cherry was able to get a nice little dunk off the slip.
Both Rich Wayne and Henley are 4 for 6 from 3. Berg make that boys blitz. The Vegas duo come in for the Aztecs with Compton and DeGorville, the freshman, off the bench, where Coach Dutcher says it's been many years since he's relied on freshmen this heavily. And if you're just joining us, the highly touted Magoon Guath unable to go in this game, out with that hyperextended knee, missing his 3rd straight. He will be reevaluated tomorrow, so I'll get an update there. Bird smirks as he gets called for his seconds. And there's Guath, 7-footer, 200 pounds, who has all the skills that you could ask for.
Yes, he does. I asked Coach Dutcher, can you replace Guath? He said he is hard to replace, and you're not going to get many players that can do what he does at the 4 position, and that's blocking shots, playmaking, putting the ball on the floor, scoring, being able to shoot the 3. But he's just a terrific player and has played phenomenal this season for Aztecs.
What a board by Bedford. Can't put it back on a second chance shot. Board saved by Davis. The last foul was actually on Compton, not Bird. DeGorville floats it in. It's a great body for a guard. 6'5", 208 pounds, freshman. First few years of high school, Durango High School here in Vegas. Compton, too aggressive, the AAU rival of DeGorville.
Yeah, I think DeGorville can do this a lot more because of his size, as you mentioned, Chris, and just getting to the paint and creating for offense for himself. He had a great game in their first meeting, but he's a guy that once he gets it going, he can give Aztec another scorer off the bench.
Last foul on Compton, his 4th, and already 5 team fouls for San Diego State. Not even 4 minutes into the second half. Another whistle, and it's another foul on San Diego State. Boy, that is now number 6. So going forward, UNLV will be in the bonus for the rest of this second half. DeGorville's first personal. After UNLV, that's the ultimate license, right, to keep taking it to the basket.
For sure, and they're making San Diego State pay on the defensive end because they're switching, and when you're switching, you're going to have mismatches with guards on Bear Cherry, which way stepping out for 3. I mean, he's just feeling it right now at this point. Oh, man. Got the crowd involved. He's hopping. He's feeling it.
He was shooting himself into that rhythm. That shoot around earlier today, the last one on the floor for UNLV. He's connected on 5 of his 7. Jerry falls down the hoop. Set it up by Henley. Thomas and Mack, the mic is yours. From half courts, Henley serves it up. The largest lead from UNLV with Big Bear on the receiving end.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Principal. Let's build a retirement and benefits plan that works for your team. By Carvana. Buy your next car the convenient way at Carvana. And by AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
Yeah, these days with player movement, senior day, senior night, sometimes feels a little bit different, but still special. Julian Rishwain's living up his senior night dreams with his performance.
Yes, I mean, I'm not calling him Rich Wayne. I'm calling him Swift Wayne. I mean, a lot of his makes is just not hitting the rim, but he is feeling it, playing off the ball extremely well, getting the crowd going. And what I love about his game, I mentioned this in the first half, Chris, is his ability to take you off the dribble. he's not just a three-point shooter. He can take you off the dribble and get to the rack every once in a while to keep the defense off balance.
UNLV looking to sweep San Diego State. They won at Viejas Arena back on January 18th. Their first win in San Diego against the Aztecs since 2020. Miles Bird, short, Bedford boards. UNLV is locked into the 6th seed for the conference tournament. Got that locked up with the Nevada loss earlier today against New Mexico. They have the 4-point lead at home. 5 gone in the second half.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Shutting down the night in Las Vegas, San Diego State, UNLV, a good one. And San Diego State has a couple of Vegas connections, including Taj de Gorville, as we get to our player profile, brought to you by State Farm. So his first 3 years of high school, Durango High School, before moving on to Wasatch Academy out in Utah. This is his first year at San Diego State, and you've highlighted it a few times. De Gorville can really change a game off the bench.
Yeah, he can. I mean, he has that ability because he can put the ball on the floor. He can play make for his teammates. I mean, in that second unit, he has the ball responsibility. They moved McKinney over to an off-ball scoring guard. So that just shows you the trust that they have for him, even as a freshman.
You just saw a look at him in high school, and how special is it to have a game in your hometown when you've been away for so long?
Yes, as the kids would say, you gotta let him cook. I mean, when your family is watching you, your parents is watching as Bird sneaks and gets the steal. Bird is fired up right now. But when your parents and families on board and they're watching you, you got to show out. And that's what he's trying to do right now.
Hit Henley with the foul after the ball was poked loose. So a foul on UNLV. Interesting, talking to de Gorville before the game. Mentioned that he'd have 8 to 10 family members in attendance to this game. They're going to take a look at this, the officials, over at the monitor. Looking for a potential flagrant on that last sequence.
Come on, Chris. That wouldn't have been a flagrant foul in our time, would it? Come on. I didn't see nothing there.
Well, let's take another look. So the ball poked loose.
Oh, come on. No.
It's to whether Henley purposely moved out that leg to trip Bird. And I can just tell by your tone, DC, that you don't think there's anything there.
Oh, he held him, I guess. That's a flagrant? Oh, wow.
Well, we'll see what the ruling is with John Floyd, Amy Bonner, Ian Caldwell. Chance to mention back to de Gorville and the Vegas connections. We asked him, is there a characteristic to a Las Vegas basketball player? And he said Vegas players are adaptable.
Call is confirmed, common foul.
Call confirmed, the word from John Floyd. So just a common foul. Well, you shook your head at that. Like, Vegas players, their characteristic is adaptable?
Yeah, that was the first time I've heard of that. But, you know, I trust Taj. I mean, he's a terrific player and will be a great player for the Aztecs for a long time. But, yeah, that was the first time I've heard that comment from a Vegas player being adaptable. But so far, so he's being adaptable in this season for the Aztecs.
And Nick Boyd just has a sense of when to turn up the offense. Senior, first year here after 4 years at FAU. He will head back to the free throw line with Cherry call for his second.
So when the Aztecs are down, they pick up their intensity on the defense end even more. You're going to see them pick up full court. You're going to see some traps, you know, in the full court too as well. And you're going to really see them get after it. They're already a great defensive team, but when they're down, they're going to start gambling, getting some steals in the gap defense, and just trying to get some easy baskets off their defense.
94 feet. That's what Nick Boyd was saying at practice earlier on today. We're going to pick up full court against a UNLV team without their starting point guard, Denon Thomas Jr. Coleman Jones reaches in. Ball last touched by San Diego State. So without that primary ball handler, instead looking on for the 4th straight game, it is a different challenge for UNLV.
It is. And they only had 6 turnovers in the first half. And they have none so far in the second half. But if they can take care of the basketball, make the right reads, they'll be in good shape to finish this game out down the stretch.
Offensive foul as Henley tried to shed the defender. McKinney was all up in the grill. Pretty obvious off-arm shed.
Right, I mean, but that's what pressure does to you, Chris. When you're picking up full court and you're into a guy's jersey, they're going to drive just sporadically and not have a purpose to their drive, as Bird drives and makes a nice little pass.
McKinney. Oh my!
Woo!
Drops the hammer.
Oh my goodness!
Miles Bird. He can approach the game so many different ways. Attack on the boards, getting steals defensively, playmaking, and that time showed off the hops. Shot clock down to 5. Has to be Bedford, does it himself, in and out, and Coleman Jones skies for the board.
And that was all Bird right there on that defensive possession right there. I mean, he literally shut down one side of the court. Right there, he's able to get the 3, and now you got him going. Now you got him going.
Miles Bird delivers 5 straight. And San Diego State takes the 1-point lead. Rishway, no look! Boy, he turned around as soon as he fired it. It hit the back of the rim and off. How about Bird? That's off the front of the rim. Shooter's paradise.
I like
right
it.
Now in Vegas.
I like it.
2 threes that were missed, but confident by both shooters. DeGorville. He examines. He thought about it. Shot clock down to 5. Coleman Jones in the post. Cherry tips. 1 to shoot. Coleman Jones can't get it towards the rim. It belongs to UNLV. Boy, defense is rising.
I mean, Bird just comes out of nowhere. Just gets the tip jam. Oh, man. That is a top 10 nominee, Chris, for SportsCenter.
Inside college basketball will have a lot to say about that dunk. That was incredible. Henley, he's pressured. And again uses the off arm, a similar mechanic to what we had 3 possessions ago. Gets called for the offensive foul.
I mean, look, McKinney comes into the game. He's picking up full court. He's creating havoc right now with his defensive pressure, and it's making Henley uncomfortable. This is what happens when you don't have your best point guard in here to make plays, and Henley's finding that out the hard way.
That's his 4th foul. He checked out of the game after the ball was inbounded. I think the officials have to pause play and let the team sort this out, because the ball was inbounded when Henley was still on the floor exiting with 12:24 to go. And that last foul, the offensive foul, was the 4th on Henley, which is huge. 16 points in this game, 2nd on the team behind Rishway's 19.
Did I not tell you they were going to pick up the defensive pressure, Chris? I mean,
Indeed.
I've seen this team over and over, time and time again, pick up their defense intensity, and they just make it uncomfortable for the offensive players.
Administrative technical foul to UNLV. They had 6 on the court, 1 shot.
So an administrative technical foul called on UNLV because, as we mentioned, they had 6 players on the floor when that ball was inbounded because Henley was still moving off. He didn't exit in time. You can take another look at it. He had the basketball, gave it to the official, Amy Bonner. Remaining in, although the player came on from the bench, Brooklyn Hicks. Meanwhile, Henley at the bottom of the screen was still talking. The official gave the ball to DeGorville, ready for play. UNLV had 6 on the floor.
Yeah, but right there, the ref, I thought he should have just held the ball and let Henley come out the play, or come out the game. You know, he gave the ball up early and didn't give Henley a chance to come out, which forced his technical shot.
Yeah, an administrative technical is considered a Class B technical. It's just one free throw, and the free throw was missed. So it remains 48-46, San Diego State. These teams had a tightly contested one at Viejas back in mid-January. Another one here in Vegas. Aztecs give it away on a low pass intended for Heidi.
Now you're seeing McKinney pick up Rich Wayne.
You called it. That full court pressure defense would be ramped up. And San Diego State fell behind. Now they take a 2-point lead. Bedford, mid-range, bottoms. Tied up at 48. It's under 12 to go.
It's a great shot by Bedford. Way to read the defense. They didn't really come out on the switch. Was able to get a nice mid-range jump shot.
Heidi screens. Floyd uses. Davis looks. Heidi wants it on the post. A cutting to Gorville. Ball fake off glass. Will head to the line to shoot 2. Jalen Bedford, 3rd foul. UNLV using the ball movement, setting up the mid-range J for Jalen Bedford. You're watching March to March, presented by Principal. Last week, New Mexico, San Diego State squared off Viejas, and after losing earlier on this season to the Lobos, San Diego State got their revenge. Played the front-running role throughout. That's Jared Coleman-Jones showing off the strength. They held Nelly Jr. Joseph down and got the win and knocked off the top team in the Mountain West. So as you can see, the tournament resumes so far for the Mountain West, the top 4 in terms of the net rankings. Should also mention Colorado State's right in that group when it comes to conference play. Jerry Palm, 9 seed Utah State, 9 seed New Mexico, and Coach Dutcher's team currently, according to Jerry Palm, a 10 seed. Boise State amongst the last 4 in. Still plenty to go this last week of the regular season. This is the last game of the Mountain West tonight. Utah State off in the midweek. New Mexico winners earlier on today on CBS Sports Network on the road against Nevada. DeGorville at the free throw line, the freshman from Las Vegas. And San Diego State with a 50-48 lead. This game's had 10 ties, 10 lead changes. It's been a fun one here in Vegas.
Thought McKinney's defense right now is changing the tempo of this game. Picking up full court.
Rishwain feeds. Bedford fires it home. And that was set up by Rishwain. 50-50. Wayne McKinney III, one of a couple of San Diego natives on San Diego State. Bird, a leaner, tries to pogo stick it back. Hicks secures the rebound and then gets fouled. And that is team foul number 7 against San Diego State. Will walk the floor. UNLV in the bonus.
Rich Rain does a great job of handling pressure against McKinney. Has his head up as he's dribbling the basketball to see Bedford on the cut right there at the last minute. Just a terrific pass. Nice little floater over the top by Bedford.
And now you've brought it up a couple of times, DC, the pressure defense from San Diego State, but the fouls have piled up, and really both teams over this last 10:36 on fouls. The others will be in the bonus. Front end hits, misses. Boyd gets the ricochet rebound.
Yeah, I mean, when you put the team to the line that early on in the game, in particular right now in the second half, I mean, it can do something to your defensive pressure, right? Now you're not as aggressive no more defensively, but that's not going to change with San Diego State as they get another steal.
Nearly thrown away. Bedford saves. Retreats. Launches. Jackpot! Boy, is UNLV sizzling from 3. 11 for 22. Heidi bobbles against Enjai. Over the 7-footer and gets the roll.
Way to stay patient. He's able to make a nice move to his right shoulder for a left-handed finish, but didn't panic inside. He was able to gather himself and make a great finish.
A game that has that March feel. 11 ties, 11 lead changes, and Kimo Ferrari did not have a stint in that first half, forces a steal. Boyd navigates around the defense like they're cone drills, and Bedford commits the foul. That is team number 7, 1-1 upcoming.
Can't leave Bedford open. He sees any daylight, he's gonna knock that three-point shot down. And Boyd drives the paint, but right here, Heidi just staying patient. Pump fake, nice little finish with his left hand. Playing terrific basketball for the Aztecs, and it's giving him something down there at the big position.
Front end.
4 for 4 for Heidi, too.
And another one left at the line. Just 2 for 6 shooting free throws is Boyd. That last foul, by the way, the 4th on Bedford. He joins Henley with 4. So foul trouble on UNLV with 9 and change left in the second half. Bedford fires, Hicks. Back to Bedford, near the logo, wide left. That was their first miss in the last 4 attempts for UNLV.
Well, the good thing is that they're generating a lot of great shots, right? A lot of shots that are opening up for them. And their shot selections have been great. So, I mean, that's all you can ask for Coach Kruger is do it by committee and get a lot of easy looks at the basket.
Thought this game could be played in the 50s. Kimo Ferrari turns the corner. Oh, can't get the layup to go.
Berry has a mismatch. I don't know if they see it right now.
Well, Richwayne was open for a beat too. Cherry trying to seal Ferrari. Set up the high-low game, but the rotation back to Goreville now defending Cherry. Shot clock down to 10. Richwayne uses the ball fake. The Florida transfer, nice inside. And UNLV up 3.
Well, Cherry had a mismatch, and all the attention was focused on Cherry to help the smaller guard that was guarding him, and Richwayne took advantage by driving the basket.
Cherry swats Boyd at the rim. 55-52, UNLV leads, just under 8 minutes left. Richwayne, he's feeling it, season high 21, drops it off, Hicks, and swatted. Miles Byrd gets a block shot, averages nearly 1 per game. Ferrari finds the Goreville. The Vegas kid knocks it off the front of the rim. Thought it might have been tipped from Bedford from behind. Bedford strapped, outlets to Hicks. Quick pace here in Vegas. Jalen Hill, also from Las Vegas. Honored before the game on senior night. Hooks it home! Largest lead, UNLV. 57-52, 7:05 left. Where does San Diego State go? They've been in a lot of these situations all year. Down in the second half. They've usually rallied, but Byrd nowhere close. Bedford turns on the Jets. Byrd says no. Goes behind the back. Saves possession. Nick Boyd retreats behind the line. Takes the rainbow and cashes.
This is such a fun game. Wow.
Welcome to March in the Mountain West.
Oh my goodness.
Richwayne delivers and Cherry stuffs it down.
As the kids would say, watch your head.
Buckle up. There's 6:05 left. Boyd attacks Cherry. Hit a three on the previous possession. Excellent cross-court pass to the sharpshooter Ferrari. Shot clock down to 4. Jared Coleman Jones fouled. He will head to the free throw line. Catch your breath in Las Vegas. Nick Boyd. He's been turning up down the stretch of the season for San Diego State. But Cherry loudly roars. Time to revisit our keys to the game. It's brought to you by Carvana.
I mentioned San Diego State has to win the rebounding battle. They're -2 margin against UNLV, so that's not going to get it done. Boyd and Bird combined 27 points. They're playing great, but they need other contributions from other players. UNLV, high-level team defense, forced 11 turnovers, which is really good for UNLV. And Bear Cherry has been a man amongst boys in the second half with 6 points. As you can see right here on the slip, duck down right here. Block shot, getting the crowd off, talking, another dunk right here. Put a little cherry on top, would you?
Bear roaring, sending a loud message in this second half for UNLV. As you mentioned, DC, he was scoreless in the first half. It was Rishwain and Henley carrying the flag for UNLV in half one. Coleman Jones was fouled before the break, a 60% free throw shooter. The steadying force in the front court. Remember, San Diego State without Magoon Guath, UNLV playing without Didon Thomas.
Yeah, and look, without Magoon Guath, Bear Cherry is having his way in the paint, and he's causing mismatch problems and is forcing San Diego State to really help a lot on the mismatch of Bear Cherry, and other players like Rich Wayne and Bedford have been taking advantage of that.
UNLV won the first meeting between these teams in San Diego, trying to hold on at home. 5 on the shot clock, tiptoeing the baseline. Hill, a whistle and a foul on San Diego State, and that is Heidi. Foul number 4 on the starting center for San Diego State. 1-and-1 upcoming. Hill, an 80% free throw shooter.
It's a very pivotal time for UNLV because right now you have Bird and Boyd out the game, and you can push this lead up even more with their 2 best players not playing right now.
See them on the bench. Jalen Hill, 6-year senior, spent 4 years at Oklahoma, his second playing for his hometown team. Said that being honored before the game here on senior night, it meant everything. He's the player that Kevin Kruger in this senior class has known the longest, recruited him in high school. He has really risen his play with the absence of Thomas over now the last 4 games. UNLV leads by 5. Baseline drive. Davis Rose had nowhere to go. It is not out of bounds and stays with the Aztecs.
So now that Bird and Boyd are out the game, where is the scoring going to come from? Is it going to be McKinney? Is it going to be BJ Davis, Coleman Jones? But like I said, this is a really pivotal time for UNLV to take advantage right now.
Heidi, not much of a threat outside. Shot clock at 5. McKinney has that takeover gene. Step back, wants 3, halfway down. Coach Kruger has said UNLV right now playing their best basketball. Rishwain, bullseye. He dances as he moves up the floor. Timeout, San Diego State. Julian Rishwain, 2 points shy of his career high. He has 23 tonight.
And he's doing a little bit of everything right here with the step back. Push off, maybe called, not called right now, but Rishwain doesn't care. Just give me the ball. And I think he did a little Steph Curry shimmy coming down.
Well, he set his career high, 25 points, as a member of San Francisco. So not too far away from where Steph Curry plays his home games. But having a career night on his senior night, 6-year senior. San Diego State possession. Coleman Jones, great passer for a big, and you see why right there. And Miles Bird will head to the free throw line, who's a great shooter at 84%.
It's a terrific pass by Coleman Jones right here to find Miles Bird on a late cut. But San Diego State, they got to pick up their pressure a little bit, not just on the defense end, but offensively, they got to push the tempo now, knowing that clock is not on your side.
San Diego State is a team 9 for 16 from the line. The way to cure those woes is to get Bird to the stripe. Another stressful game for Coach Dutcher. That's been the story for San Diego State, no matter the opponent, seeming like it's a close game with 5 minutes left.
Yes, it's been such a great, resilient group all year long, being down and finding ways to win. And they have another opportunity to do that right now with Bird with a wide open three.
Front rim, can't get it to go, so he missed the second on the free throw. And then missed the open three. The foul difficulties, 4 for Heidi and Compton on the Aztec side. Henley and Bedford each have 4. Henley's been on the bench for quite a bit for UNLV, who's been the team's leading scorer over these last 5 games. Rishwain is rejected. Coleman Jones comes rotating over. San Diego State playing the defense. B.J. Davis fouled, much to the dismay of Hicks.
See the collapse by San Diego State. Coleman Jones gets a nice block.
You're not seeing a foul there. That hand, though, was near the hip.
I don't know, Chris.
I mean, there's the argument of whether it was just marginal contact. Davis hits 82% from the line.
But you mentioned the foul trouble that San Diego State's bigs are in. And this is why they miss Guath, right? You know, now it puts San Diego State in a bind where they have to play 4 guards and 1 big, and now they're a little bit smaller, which they can do, but it just makes it harder to rebound the basketball.
Out with that hyperextended knee against Utah State, reevaluated tomorrow. We'll get an update as to when they can get him back. As Davis connects on a couple, still a 2-possession game, under 4 to play. UNLV 11 for 23 from the 3-point line. That has been the story. Hill back to the basket. Excellent defender in Miles Bird. Knocks it away. Nick Boyd glides and gets it off the window. It's down to a 2-point game.
You have to be extremely careful around Miles Bird. You can't put that basketball anywhere in eyesight that he can see, because he's just going to steal the basketball from you. So if you're not taking care of the ball around him, he's going to make you pay right there.
Wade McKinney, the third, is guilty there. And 2 free throws coming up, double bonus. It is heating up. San Diego State turns up the gear defensively. And the senior Nick Boyd makes it a 2-point game. I know those guys are going to race home after the game and make sure they're in for Inside College Basketball, where they will get those in-depth highlights and analysis. Number 1 goes down today in college basketball. They'll have a quick recap of this one as well coming up on CBS Sports Network. Experts at Work, brought to you by Principal, as Julian Rishwain is en fuego here in Vegas.
Yes, I mean, he's been great for the Running Rebels all game long. And it just seems that he's just finding the basketball. Their teammates is finding him, and he's making them pay, whether it's off the catch and 3-ball or he's off the dribble. But he's having a terrific game for Coach Kruger.
So DC, big substitution for Coach Kevin Kruger. He is bringing in Jaden Henley, who's been on the bench for the last 9 minutes with those 4 fouls. So to give a boost to what Rishwain is doing, it's been Henley and Rishwain carrying the scoring load for Coach Kruger. So there is Henley. It was around the 12-minute mark, in fact 12:30 left in the second half when he exited. And now he's back in with 3:20 left.
And to your point, now you have Hill, who's a great scorer. You have Henley, Bedford, Rich Wayne that can put pressure on the defense. offensively, but, you know, Bearcherry, you know, he's a guy that's going to have his moments too as well, but now you put all 4 of them out with Bearcherry. This is a dangerous lineup if San Diego State's not careful right now.
Gets the touch. Starters -1 in for San Diego State. McKinney in, Heidi on the bench. Miles Bird hunts a 3. Quick miss, and Bedford vacuums.
Not mad at that shot, but you know, you still have a lot of time left. You don't want to force shots if you're San Diego State. You want to take your time and get some easy looks to the basket.
4-point game, under 3 minutes left. Season high for Richmond. Bounces, Cherry, thunderous flush! That is his 3rd dunk of the second half. Six-point lead, 2:40 to go. Coleman Jones shuffles into a 3. High off the back of the rim, 2 quick missed threes on the San Diego State side.
Yeah, right now San Diego State's pressing right now. They don't need to. They have a lot of time left. You know, just need to just settle down as BJ gets a steal right here.
Races to the rim, and Davis quickly off the glass. And San Diego State needed that. Quick stop and a bucket, back within 4.
This is where it could get a little bit dangerous for UNLV because they don't have their point guard. And now everybody's picking up, pressuring. Let's see how they alleviate pressure.
The scorer off the bench, Bedford. Wishwain puts it on the floor. Ball fake 3. Yeah! Career high, 26. Ties the largest lead. Boyd bullies and gets it off the front of the rim. 19 for Boyd.
2-possession game. San Diego State, you just want to buckle down, get a stop. Don't need to gamble or reach.
Timeout called, UNLV. UNLV, season high, 12 threes.
Right here, Rich Wayne has it going off the pump fake. Pulls his follow through up. Lets everybody know, yeah, that was me that made that shot.
Keeps the gooseneck up. So UNLV looking for the season sweep over San Diego State would be incredible. Earlier on this season, back on the 18th of January, they went to Viejas and stunned San Diego State. Using the defense, Brooklyn Hicks there, and then Denon Thomas put it away with his signature fadeaway. That was a first quad 3 loss, or quad 4. That was technically quad 3 in a 65-game stretch for San Diego State. So as you take a look at the standings here, San Diego State, this game, big stakes in terms of seeding when it comes to the conference tournament right here at the Thomas and Mack Center. UNLV, with the loss that Nevada had earlier on today to New Mexico, they're number 6 regardless. A minute 25 left. Still a ways to go against that tight defense, that pressure from Coach Dutcher's team. And Bird can provide it. Hill backs him down. Davis from behind. That's a basket. And a chance at 3. The bang and the buckets for Jalen Hill.
Talked about how well Jalen Hill's been playing for the Running Rebels, but now he's starting to get into the post. He's being patient, flexing on him, and gets the and-1 foul. Gets the and-1 play right there. A terrific play by Jalen Hill. Even better finish.
Still a 7-point game, 3 possessions. Hill, the Vegas kid, on his senior night. One of the biggest plays of the season. Coleman Jones fade away off the front of the rim. UNLV and the crowd can sense it with a minute left, leading by 7. Hill. Terry wanted the lob. Instead, Hill keeps, and another reach and foul on San Diego State. And Hill's a good free throw shooter at 80%. And Coleman Jones gets called for his 4th. Both teams double bonus going forward. Each team with at least a timeout left. UNLV hasn't swept San Diego State since the 2012-2013 season. Over 10 years. The largest lead of the game for the running Rebels with 48 seconds to go. In and out. Still at 8. Aztecs need a bucket, need it fast. Bird lost it. Scooped by Hill. Here's the Vegas guy. He's fouled on the way to the baskets. What a moment for Hill.
It's a great steal by Hill. I mean, all game long, they have playing with so much passion, and it's been contagious. Everybody was feeling the love today. Rich Wayne had his moment. Bear Cherry, Henley early on in the game. Bedford. This was a great job by UNLV. Still not over yet, but if they get this win, this is a great win by committee, and they have a lot to be proud of.
One of the lows in Hill's career came last season against San Diego State. That was the Mountain West opener where he suffered a knee injury and missed the rest of the season. And that was his return season to UNLV. A guy from Vegas who started his college career at Oklahoma. Missed 2 free throws. Boy, rainbows, front of the rim. Boy, Bird saves. Coleman Jones has to fire. It does. The threes clanging off the rim for the Aztecs. It's UNLV ball. A nearly perfect senior night. Jalen Hill, Jalen Bedford, Julian Rishwade were the 3 rotation players who were honored before the game and have all had big roles in what is likely a win. Trapped by midcourt. And it goes to show you, March in this conference, you never know what you're going to see. And keep in mind, UNLV, they're playing their best basketball right now. This would be their 6th win in their last 7 games. Their 3rd straight victory overall. And the conference tournament is played on their home floor.
Yes, and that says a lot about Coach Kruger, right? You know, his point guard goes down, but he designs an offense where everybody can be involved and still make it difficult on the opponents, and such a terrific job of adjusting, because it's not very easy. It's not easy to adjust late in this season when one of your best players goes down with an injury like Dion did.
This game could be at double digits easily if UNLV has made their free throws down to stretch. Still at 9. Bird around and down with 8 seconds. Pressure defense remains. Hill can't get it in. They had 2 timeouts left. They take one here. UNLV, a chance for their 2nd win this season against the Aztecs, in the way they've gotten it done tonight. 12 for 24 from behind the 3-point line.
Yes, UNLV did a great job of shooting the basketball, but I thought they did a great job of looking for each other and playing selfless basketball, and that's what you need to beat a team like San Diego State. And they play confident too as well, so you got to give them credit. They deserve this win, but it was more of their unselfish play. All of them did a great job of contributing. 4 players in double figures, and Bearcher had 8 points, so they would have had 5. I mean, that's outstanding.
The up and down nature of the season for UNLV. It's been streaky. Before this streak, where they are about to win their 6th in their last 7, they had lost 5 in a row, so it's been that roller coaster. But the final stop is great play at the right time here in March. Aztecs select not to foul, and UNLV continues their strongest play of the season and sweep San Diego State for the first time since the 2012-2013 campaign. 74-67 final. Julian Rishwain's 26 points helped UNLV get their 11th win in the Mountain West. San Diego State drops to 13-6. Looking up at Boise State, Utah State, Colorado State, and New Mexico. This one had it all. 11 ties, 11 lead changes, and a UNLV closing kick, 74-67, led by Rishwain's 26. For Darren Collison and our entire crew, I'm Chris Lewis. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Let's go to New York with Brent Stover and the crew.